Hello and good afternoon, Xbox Nation. Welcome to this week's new episode of X Blog Live. I'm your host, Mr. BoomStick XL. Folks, we are here for the next 75-ish minutes, and we're going to give you one hell of a show. There's no negative Nancy's here. There's no doom and gloom. We got 3 games that we're going to
Not
talk
on this
about.
one. Oh, no.
Yes. And of course, I can't have an X Vlog Live without my amazing co-host who wrote an epilogue on Twitter, basically breaking it down as to why Xbox fans are winning, why you should not be throwing the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to Xbox. This is not coping 101, as the kids like to say. This is let's be real and look at what you have in front of you, what you're getting, what's in your service, and the box now, along with the box in 2026. This is going to be positive. I've already said my piece about Indiana Jones. I hated the way it was done with the PlayStation 5 version, not because PS5 gamers are going to get a chance to play it. The way it was done, I did not like. It was an announcement. I've said this already 2 or 3 times that could have waited, and it could have been simply about Xbox gamers. But here's the thing.
Oh, well, if you're going to say more, go ahead. The one thing I want to say about this, because I hear everybody's take on it, right?
Yes.
And if you were with us watching us live stream it, right? When it first happened, right? I was a little shocked that it happened. I never thought they would do that.
Right.
That being said, it was not a negative for me. I didn't think they would do that because I didn't think that they would come out here and say, you know what, let's stop the rumor bullshit that's going on out there. Let's stop the Tom Warrens of the world constantly putting this shit out there. Let's stop the doom and gloom bullshit. Let's not forget that everyone, right? You've done it, everybody has done it, has said, why doesn't Xbox just come out and squash the shit?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They came out and squashed the shit. It's done. They came out. It's over. You know what would have happened? I've heard everybody. I've watched everybody have their takes on this, and I could tell you right now, the idea that I want you guys to think about this. What you're suggesting is that for the next, what you wanted was that we're gonna get the game in what are we in August? Right?
December.
September, October, November, December. So 4 months, or let's say 3.5 months from now. So for 3.5 months, you were gonna want to be like, oh snap, look, it's for Xbox, blah, 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 blah. Right? The game comes out, and then what you wanted was after that for them to be like, you thought this was only for Xbox? Actually, it's coming to PlayStation now, right? After you were like, essentially, what you wanted them to do was to withhold the information, right? So that we can feel like the game was exclusive, and then pull the rug from underneath us and be like, hey, turns out that all those rumors were actually true. And all of you guys saying, I don't know, I didn't hear anything. Look at this, the game's out, nobody's talking. And all those PlayStation dudes are gonna be like, it's coming, it's coming. And then people are like, well, it wasn't announced. Well, guess what? You would just be in a worse situation for the entire time. People will be talking crap. The rumors will be going around. Dude, I'm so sick of these freaking fake insiders sitting out here saying all this crap. I want it to either be real or not, right? And Xbox did us a solid. They moved on from it. Look, I appreciate the fact that we wish that the game was exclusive. Sure, great. I wish every game was exclusive. But at the end of the day, I much rather see. I look at it as a power play that they did. They came out and they said, "Listen, at the end of the day, this is the reality of what it is. We're not going to keep having these guys come out here, say these rumors, let our community linger, and let it be something that at the end of the day is going to just be a problem." Right now, they come out and they just say, "Guess what? Doom." Right? The new Doom is coming to PlayStation and Xbox day and date, right? Because we know that it was a multi-platform game, and we know that it's staying a multi-platform game. Do you hear anybody talking about it anymore? Is anyone out there talking crap about Doom coming to PlayStation?
No, no one's actually. Everyone's just excited because Doom has a new Doom and it looks amazing. Yeah,
Exactly, and the rumors are gone. What
yeah.
what gets people going are these rumors. So for the next 4 months, we would have been living with this rumor, with this idea that the game was gonna be on Xbox only, and then all of a sudden, it would be like, "Hey, we tricked it." You know what's funny? If you listen to a lot of the people who've been talking about this, right? They'll say, "Hey, why didn't you tell us before?"
Yeah.
Right? Why didn't you tell us when it was first announced? Oh, it's funny. It's funny. So you wanted them to say when it was first announced so that you wouldn't be upset now. Aren't you going to say the same thing in 6 months or 5 months or whenever they announce that it's going to PlayStation? Aren't you going to say, well, why didn't you just announce it last time? Why didn't you just tell us last time? They did it. They told you now. You know why? Because back then, guess what? Maybe it wasn't going to be a multi-platform game, or maybe the exclusion level was going to be smaller. Who knows what the scenario is? You know, we weren't in the room where it happened. We don't know what the negotiations were. That's a Hamilton reference. If anybody knows Hamilton, you gotta be with the room where it happens. You know what I'm saying? No, it was there, right? We don't know what was the plan. We don't know what any of this stuff was. All we know is that at the end of the day, Microsoft is taking every dollar they make, whether it's from us, whether it's from Game Pass, whether it's from the ponies, and they're giving it back to us in games.
In
That's
Game
the
Pass also.
currency.
Yeah.
That's the exactly. Well, in games for Game Pass, right? That's the currency that Microsoft pays its customers with, right? Game Pass, right? That's what they're doing. They're taking others' money and they're funding us. That is what this is. Everybody, all the other scenarios that exist, doesn't matter. Listen, I can appreciate a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm done with Xbox. I'm just going to PC. And I got my Game Pass on PC." It's like, I don't know if you've heard the news, but that's exactly what Microsoft is 100% okay happening here, right? They don't care. They want you. They want you to be paying wherever you are. You already own the box once. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already bought the box. They already got what they got from you with the box. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if you're gonna go to PC. Just enjoy it, man. I know I went off further,
No,
but
no, no. Listen, first of all,
just
welcome. Thank you so much for the monologue, if you will, because I think it was brilliant, and I want to add some context to this.
thanks, man.
And I think honestly, this has gone over a lot of people's heads. This isn't an excuse. This is not coping, as the kids like to say. This is the truth. The truth of the matter is that I'm an old school cat. That if I had it my way and I was running Xbox, it would be done differently. But of course, my vision is a vision that was apparent in 2006. We are now in 2024, which of course things have changed. Business has changed. The way games are delivered are changed. And if you think it's going to start and stop at Xbox, I'm here to tell you folks, you're sadly mistaken. And here's the other caveat. All of the I'm not going to use the word. You know who all of the PlayStation players that are running victory laps with the big W, down the road with the big flag, they're a bunch of frauds. They really are, because these are the same group. And again, no names here, folks. You know who I'm talking about. These are the same group of so-called gamers that said they wouldn't play Indiana Jones because it's going to give them motion sickness. You remember that running narrative? I mean, people were reporting on that shit. Like, that was actually a thing. Like, we've never played first-person games before. Are we serious? That's what you're going to roll with? And now they're running with victory laps. So here's the thing. These so-called gamers that are running victory laps, I don't even know if they're even going to buy or play this game, because hell, they don't freaking buy their own first-party games and play their own first-party games, which is why their trophy list is hidden from the public. A lot of them do that. You can go and see exactly how many platinums I got right now. I think I got 4 or 5 of them. And you know what, Astrobot, when it comes out, will be another, because I absolutely love that little robot, and so much so I bought the damn controller to match. But here's the thing. PlayStation gamers, welcome. Welcome to Xbox. Thank you for funding the Next Machine Games title. you're going to do that because you are paying $76.43 when I'm paying $20 a month for my service. And you know who wins? I suppose everybody wins. You get to play the game. Yeah, well, we win for sure. We absolutely win. But see, Money, these PlayStation gamers, the frauds that you talk about on a regular basis, are literally going to buy this game for $76.43. They're going to potentially buy the collector's edition or the deluxe edition that gives you the DLC. And you know what they just did? They just funded the next Machine Games title. Thank you, PlayStation.
This is how stupid they are, right? Because we say thank you for funding Game Pass, right? And this is the like not so smart level of these people, right? They say no, you pay for your own Game Pass subscription. Oh, got it. The dumbness that exists. Understood. Okay, we gotta break it down for you. What we mean is that all of the games that Xbox gives to us, right? That go into our subscription that we pay the $20 a month for, you are funding that with your purchases of Xbox games. That's including Call of Duty, that's including Minecraft, that's including Indiana Jones next year, that's going to include Doom next year. Keep buying them, ponies. Buy. You're funding our games.
Yeah,
thank
indeed.
you.
Yeah,
much appreciated.
You know, it's
also the just because I didn't have a show since Tuesday, so
you're all ready to rock and roll.
A lot of pent up shit to say tonight's gonna be crazy. But this idea of Phil lying, right? Like, come on, man. Let's get past this scenario, right? He didn't lie shit. Okay, he was asked a question. Is Starfield or Indiana Jones part of the 4 games that are coming? The answer was no, they are not part of the 4 games. Be quiet after that.
Yeah,
that was the only
I see the narratives
asked.
with that also. That
come on, man.
Yeah, when he was asked the pointed question again, this is what do you want him to do? Oh yeah, those 4 games are coming. Oh, Indiana Jones, we got a surprise for you next year. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I gotta tell you, bro. I feel like that came in. I feel like that is not.
It was shoehorned in, brother. It was shoehorned in.
I honestly think about this.
Weird.
It's clear they had a trailer ready to go,
mm-hmm.
right? Because after, I think on social media, you see that they have another screen that has the game, Xbox and all that shit, and then spring 2025 for PlayStation. But at the end of this, it just ended the normal way it would have ended. And then afterwards,
it was
a second, like, oh, hey, here it 100%. Is. People are taking that like Xbox was saying, no, here you go. No. I honestly think that it was a last minute decision that they went ahead and put. Not, I wouldn't say last minute, but it was after the trailer was already cut, and I think they put it in after. I think this is clear that it's Machine Games really were pushing for this, to happen. And honestly, at the end of the day, I think Phil made the right decision. Let's take away the jobs of the insiders, the quote unquote insiders, right? There's no more talking about this. Listen, they all said it was Forza. Okay. Oh, day 1 of Gamescom has Forza in it. That's probably when they're gonna announce it. Didn't happen. If it happens, who knows? But the bull crap just keeps on going. And frankly, I'm sick of these people with these insider tips and knowledge or whatever coming to doom and gloom and create an issue and put this narrative out there that it's a problem. And people abuse that, right? Like, people like, listen, I rather get the views that I get with just making fun of
which
like
is
the
just
ponies that do it
shit. It's the
right
way.
Than ever getting
lying.
views for throwing Xbox under the bus.
100%.
I will not do it, bro. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care how dope the headline would be, and I could see all the clicks in my mind. Oh my god, so many people are going to watch this video. The clicks would only be negative
people. You couldn't even read the chats because your eyeballs would be burned in the back of your head. Yeah, so
exactly. I just
see, Money. I want to add some extra context. Again, folks, this is not making excuses. It's just not. But I think that there are some underlying conversations that nobody is having. One of which is the most important, is the FTC is still on Microsoft's ass. and they want to try and break up ABK. So this going there, and Starfield is going next year, folks. Sorry, it's just is what it is. When it goes over there, that destroy these two games, these two high octane AAA developed games going to PlayStation destroys Lena Khan's case. If she's even in her position next year, because I think they're gonna clean house. The FTC is a freaking mess, and she is not a good leader. So her whole thing is, well, you said case by case there, Phil. Well, here you go. 2 cases. Indiana Jones is a brand new IP. We got an exclusive, a timed exclusive. It's coming to PlayStation. They're getting the exact same game. Starfield, one of our biggest sellers, going to PlayStation because it's going to happen. They're going to announce it next year. And you know what? The case for the FTC is destroyed. They back off, and Microsoft is, of course, now free to start looking at the field, i.e., 2K, because that's where I think they're going next. So these games releasing,
they have so many options, many options, Boom, that they can do. That's what the ponies don't get. We're talking different leagues here, right?
Well,
like they want to treat it like they have options. They have scraps, right?
Yeah.
Xbox is the soup kitchen, right? We're the ones handing out the food, and the ponies are the ones in line. Say, can I have another, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
7643, please. Okay, there you go.
Yo, but listen, but hold on. What makes me laugh so much, right, are the ponies who still, after seeing every factual number thrown in front of their face, who still believe that they're the ones who buy games. They believe it. They think they buy games. We did a whole freaking show on the numbers that PlayStation released on their own numbers. And they told us that PlayStation gamers spent less money on games this year than they did last year in the same quarter.
Yeah.
Fun fact, dumbasses, last year, in that entire year, you guys sold 20 million PlayStation 5s or shipped 20 million. What happened to people buying games? How do you have 20 million more people, yet less money was spent on games? Tell me.
Yeah.
Explain it to me.
It's a great point.
How does it happen? If PlayStation dudes are buying games, how does 20 million more of them equal less money spent on games year over year? Explain it to me. Oh, hold on. You know what did go up? DLC, 38%. Interesting. Mm-hmm. It looks like 20 million more people went ahead and said, you know what? I'd rather buy a skin in Fortnite or a skin in Call of Duty or a
Apex Legends
pack in Minecraft or whatever it is, then they are concerned about buying any of your PlayStation games. Because y'all dudes who think, oh my God, we're PlayStation, we do this. Show me the numbers of games that were sold. Show me the brag post. Show it to me of all the exclusive games you guys released this year from third parties. Show it to me. Show me the brag post. I want to see it. Social media, where everybody brags when they're happy with what they got. I want you guys to hit me up in my DM, C Money Forever, or at me. Show me the brag post for any one of the PlayStation exclusive third-party games. Show it to me. I would love to see it, because supposedly there's 60 million PlayStations that are shipped that are out there in the world. And it seems like none of these games have done anything worth talking about.
They haven't. Another perfect example of that is Concord, that politely launched. And, is anybody talking about Concord? Is anybody playing Concord?
Bro, Concord, what is that? It's
here's a little piece of information. Again, we're gonna listen. I have the Indiana Jones trailer queued. I want to watch it. Live with you guys and gals. I want to talk about my experience that I had with Bethesda. I was invited into the room that had quite a bit heavies in there. Nice. And again, when you look at who was there in regards to, like, me and King were there, and we're YouTubers, as of course the press likes to call us. What are those YouTubers here? I'm sure that was in there. I was in there with some big heavies. So that goes to show me that we're doing it right, because that invite did not come from Xbox. That came from Bethesda. And I'm on their radar for doing good content, which is great. No one's going to tell me not to get excited about Indiana Jones. I saw, folks, I'm here to tell you, I can't describe what it is because I don't want to spoil it, but I saw 10 minutes past. I think it was maybe even a little bit more past what you guys and gals saw at Gamescom. I saw past that. And I'm here to tell you, I asked for footage to make a video, and I was denied. They didn't give anybody They gave us stills. I was like, oh man, because it's fine. Everyone will be surprised. But I do want to watch the video. But before we get to there and we start talking positive, because there's a lot to get excited about. There's just so much good Xbox news. I don't care who you are. If you don't like what's going on, you know what? I value your opinion. I'm not going to fight you on it. But no one's going to tell me that I shouldn't be excited. As a matter of fact, I was so excited about Xbox, I just pre-ordered the 2 terabyte console. I'm not even apologizing for it, because I'm gonna replace the one out here. That's the 1 terabyte. Put that was just the Halo one in the room. Sell off the old original launch title, the launch one, which you can get $300 for in GameStop like right now. And I'm just gonna buy this. I buy the 2 terabyte, and now I don't got to worry about space. I got a 2 terabyte card. I got a 2 terabyte console, 4 terabyte of storage. And you know what? I didn't have to buy it on PC because I don't like PC and I don't want to play on PC. I want to play on Xbox. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. But let me catch up on these amazing super chats. Been quite a few of them. Mr. J. Slay, generous friend of the program, drops an outstanding $5 super chat and says, hey, you had some guests last night on Primetime Gaming that were a bit negative and shaky. Wanted to thank you, Boom, for staying positive and holding the line. Look, we have an open platform here on Double Barrel Gaming, and when someone comes on and they donate their time, which we can't pay, unfortunately, we're still mom and pop. Eventually, if we're ever syndicated, I'll pay people to be on the show. I would love nothing more than to pay actual YouTubers to be on the show. I can't do that. We don't just make enough money. When people come on, even if they're negative, their opinions are valued by myself and Mrs. Boone. We're not going to agree. And a lot of the things that were said yesterday, you saw I pushed back. I didn't agree with. But that doesn't make their opinion any less valuable. It's their opinion. They're entitled to it. I disagree with it. And again, we walked away like gentlemen, which is the way you're supposed to do it. And that's the great thing about having people on a podcast, that everyone doesn't agree. Everyone has their room to disagree, and we can have a great conversation and a show. Jay, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Simon Brandy drops a very generous £5 super chat. And Simon says, I didn't meant to actually say that. Simon says, Netflix, Amazon, Sony, Nintendo all have exclusives. Let's be clear. Xbox bent the need to survive. My fear is Xbox hardware will become irrelevant. So here's the thing. So I'm gonna let C Money answer this, but I want to answer first, Simon. The thing is this. Please, for the love of Joe, watch the 1 minute and 30-second clip that I put on my YouTube channel of Phil answering why Indiana Jones. And the answer is very simple. Xbox borrowed $70 billion from Papa Microsoft to buy ABK, to bring more value to their streaming service. That money has to be repaid. And unfortunately, Xbox gamers, just like PlayStation gamers and Nintendo gamers, are just not enough. They need to figure out other ways for new money and new players. I don't make excuses. I don't like it. Bending the knee? How? They're making more money. They're the biggest third-party publisher in the freaking world. And imagine when I say when, I don't even say if they get 2K, because that's going to happen. Grand Theft Auto is going to be a Microsoft IP. Again, I don't know if that's next year or the following year. They're going to make that play, because could you imagine having everything Xbox has, everything Bethesda has, everything Activision has, and then you add 2K to that? Forget about it. It's over. Sony is going to be an app at that point. right? So I hear you about the bending the knee. I just disagree with that analogy because simply they're trying to make money everywhere they can. And PlayStation players, look, let's be honest. Simon, do you guys have a roadmap? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Concord. That's right.
Do they
Concord.
have a parent company that even cares to be in games anymore? Because the last we saw, they were willing to spend $26 billion with, well, I mean, they don't have that type of money. Let's be clear. They're willing to go in with somebody who has $26 billion to go ahead and invest in movies and TV. They went ahead and spent billions of dollars on music,
Yes.
right? Music IP and licenses, right? They went ahead and did that and bought catalogs and shit. But what have they?
Where's the investment in gaming?
What investment have they made in gaming? What investment have they made in you, Pony?
There is an investment that they made, and it's called Bungie, and they're going to close up shop.
They're still paying for that investment.
$3.6 billion, and look what Sony has done to them, and look what they have done to themselves.
That's wild. That's wild.
I'm just saying it's just there's no investment. It's just Microsoft is the biggest third-party publisher, dude. It just I get your loyalty to the brand,
they've been for what without doing any of this other stuff. They're still already the biggest third-party publisher, right? Like it's just what it is, right? And to be clear, that is going to keep making us money, and that's going to keep giving us Game Pass, right? But just to kind of go over here with this Xbox bent the knee. Listen, I'm sorry. When you are a pillar of a $3 trillion company, there's no bending the knee. You're not bending a knee. I know there's emotions, right? My fear is Xbox hardware will become irrelevant. I can appreciate your fear, but your fear of Xbox hardware becoming irrelevant is the same fear as you being afraid of the boogeyman in your closet. Okay. It's not real. It's in your head. All right. Xbox hardware doesn't matter to right now. As soon as they said we're going to be able to play all of the games on PC, on cloud, on the Samsung TVs, on the Amazon Fire Sticks, they let you know that they don't care. They don't have an interest in forcing you to own an Xbox to engage with Xbox content. They don't have that interest. Okay. But let's be clear. They will continue to have hardware because number one, sure, they already announced it, but understand, no matter what, there are people like Boom
right here
who do not want to buy a PC. So the conversation about, well, I could just go do it on PC or do it on PlayStation, whatever. No, people like Xbox. There's still 30 plus million people who own a series console. And there's still probably half of that, I mean, or double that, or like around the same, like 30 million people who still own Xbox Ones. And the Xbox One and One X and One S, right? There are Xbox people. You can cry about this. That's fine, right? Everybody's welcome to go shed a tear. But at the end of the day, Xbox has already figured out that no matter how good of a game that they make, there are going to be just so many people who are willing to come over to Xbox. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. So at the end of the day, they're going to do what's right for the company. And I know, well, we're gamers. No. Think about what you're saying. We're gamers. Gamers. As a gamer, you have not been affected at all. If anything, the only effects you have had have been positive effects. We've gotten more and more. They spend more money than anyone in the history of gaming on the Xbox platform, buying Bethesda, buying ABK. They've invested in what have we gotten? We've gotten games upon games in Game Pass. And it's not only first party, it's third party day and dates. They're investing nonstop. You guys want to cry and say, well, devs are not going to want to show up. Bro, the news is out there. Devs are still showing up. How did we just watch Gamescom for 2 days and see more and more games going into Game Pass? If they're dying, how are more going into Game Pass? If they're becoming irrelevant, how are more going into Game Pass? What you're doing, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you because it's noisy, right? Not everyone has the ability to filter out the noise, right? I get it. It's noisy out there. You're hearing all the ponies. You're hearing all the pony bots. You're hearing all the Xbox fans that are so sad and disturbed by this news, and they're all putting it out there. It's so loud that it's hard to be rational, right? It's so loud that it clouds your judgment and it makes you feel like they bent the knee. A pony would say that. I'm not saying you're a pony. I'm saying that a pony would say you're taking pony narratives and you're embracing them because of fear. But it's irrational fear. It's irrational fear. They're a $3 trillion company. The only people that should be concerned about what's going to happen to their future of gaming are the PlayStation fans. Those are the only people who should be concerned. And I'm not talking ponies. I'm talking every fan, because I own a PlayStation. I am concerned that they are not going to invest in a Last of Us 3 or a Uncharted 5 or whatever. Like I'm concerned that they're not going to invest the way I envisioned, because they have not. I was sold on the idea of they believed in generations. So I said, okay, I only ever have PlayStations for their for their exclusives.
Right.
So I said, okay, dope. I'm going to get a new Last of Us at some point. That's going to be, if this is what they did on PlayStation 4, oh my God, imagine what they'll do on PlayStation 5. Gotta get it. Eventually it's coming, but I have it. It'll be waiting. And what did they do? Disappointment after disappointment. Nothing that they have released this generation has been next generation. I am sorry. Everything has been PlayStation 4 version. That's all. Whether it's exclusive to PlayStation 5 or released on both, the exclusives could have been on PlayStation 4. They could have been. They didn't do anything to push anything. So they've already showed that they're changing. And Hiroki Totoki already told these people, told everyone, but y'all rather talk about Xbox. And they are. God, PlayStation is literally the first company to go ahead and take a tentpole IP, put it day and date on a competing platform. Tentpole IP. It's theirs. They created it. It's their IP with Horizon. Now you might say, well, it's Lego. So Lego is the one who's saying it's supposed to go on the Switch. Really? It's funny because MLB is in control of MLB, right? The show. And there's an Xbox version, right? There's an Xbox version because
which,
MLB,
by the way, sells better on Xbox than it does on PlayStation. Better than,
yeah, exactly. So MLB, the show, is on Xbox because MLB said that's going everywhere. Let me help you guys out. Every Lego game before Lego Horizon has been on Xbox. Lego doesn't give 3 shits about PlayStation's console war. If it was up to Lego, they would release the game everywhere.
And it will be. It'll be one of the big announcements.
Eventually it will, for sure. Yeah. We already know that they said, oh, we have nothing to announce yet. But as of day and date, if it were Lego who was making this decision, it would have been everywhere. So stop capping, stop trying to make yourself feel better about it. PlayStation has literally taken a Tempo IP and done it. The game is going to PC day and date as well. This is just happening, but y'all want to excuse it, and you have the balls to come in here and says PlayStation wouldn't do this. PlayStation is doing it, but you want to ignore it. You want to ignore it and give PlayStation grace? What have they done for you that you give them grace, but then you'll take the company that you so-called have 3 shits about and you're a fan of and you've been here for so long? Oh yeah, I'm all the way, but they cut me too deep. It's the last time. What? When you're seeing them do nothing but grow? When you're seeing them do nothing but give us more and more in the Game Pass? If you don't have Game Pass, that's a personal problem. That's your choice, bro. If you want to buy each game, that's your choice, and that's fine. But don't treat it Like they're hurting Xbox. No, they're giving to the hardest of the hardcore, the people who do say, you know what, I'm going to invest every single month. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Xbox, for looking at me as the most valuable person on your platform. Yes, I'm sorry. I am more valuable than the dude who only wants to buy a game whenever he wants. It's just the reality of what it is. I'm committed every month. I'm committed every month. This is just what it is, right? So yes, they are investing in me. They're investing in Game Pass subscribers like no other. So thank you, Microsoft. I appreciate you. I'm sorry that all these so-called Xbox fans out here are crying non-stop over bullshit. That's all. Sorry.
No, I mean, listen, it's a great rant, and it's one that was needed, honestly. Let me catch up on Super Chats. We're going to run the trailer. We're going to get our opinions, and we still got to get into the Avowed information. Folks, there are going to be double-digit endings, meaning that it could go from 10 to 100, or a combination of them. That's how big that game is going to be. Obviously, Cloverfield has been putting out some unbelievable screenshots. That game is going to slap so hard next year. And I can't wait for it. I'm glad, actually, like I said, I wish I could play it. Paris Lilly, friend of the channel, friend of the community, actually had a chance to play it. He actually had a chance to play it, and he goes, my goodness. I mean, I'll read his tweet, but he basically said he's sorry that he has to wait until February. That goes to tell me that there is something special here. And of course, well, we have the official release date for Starfield's new DLC, Shattered Space. That is coming September 30th. And of course, if you turned on the game, you can buy the new Rev 8 buggy and drive and fly and shoot and do everything. I haven't done it yet because I am in the middle of playing Alien Isolation. And my God, that game is so good, but also heart attack inducing because, man, that alien is relentless. Holy shit. And I thought
it looks good, bro.
Dude, it has.
It still looks good.
It's got all the boosts that you could possibly imagine playing on Series X, and there's quick resume and everything. It's phenomenal. I slept on it in 2014. I had a lot going on. That's when I had my back surgery, so I just wasn't into anything at that point. And this game is 10 years old, and it just plays so freaking good. If you missed it, and of course, Alien Romulus, which I'm going to go see over the weekend or next week. That is another that got me into it, and it's just so good. But listen, we have here Black Sausage drops a very generous $5 super chat and says, glass half full take. With two releases a half a year apart, it will have a better chance at Game of the Year since initially launching in December. I mean, you're not wrong. The reviews are going to come out, and even some of the most negative people are like, wow, this game is something. Look, folks, I don't know what the reviews are going to be. It's one of my most anticipated games of the year. It is so good. We'll watch the trailer together. You'll tell me what you think. It's phenomenal how one-to-one it is to the films. Like, it's like watching the trailer makes me feel like I'm watching a new film. It's just incredible. But you're right. Obviously, if it releases December, it's not going to get, obviously chosen for Game of the Year, no matter how good it is. And when it releases in the spring, obviously, it'll be announced as potentially one of the games of the year, but it's going to be announced as a PlayStation game, not as an Xbox game. You know how Jeff does his business. Sloth drops a very generous $10 super chat. And he goes on to say, all of those PlayStation players that don't get it are like that one guy from Kung Pao, where they taught him to fight the wrong on purpose. I am bleeding, making me the victim. I'm laughing because I know exactly what he's talking about. Dude, thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you for the visual in my head, because oh my God, that is very true. Pixie Q drops a very generous $5 super chat and says, grown man hating on PlayStation fans who will gladly buy games and support devs fully instead of giving them peanuts via Game Pass. Grow up, gentlemen. I mean, Pixie, first of all, welcome. Yeah, it's a negative take. We're not hating on PlayStation. My question to you, Pixie, is, do you own an Xbox? or do you own a PC that you can play Xbox games? Because I have a PlayStation 5. I have 4 controllers, I got a camera, I got the charging dock, you name it. I got the headphones sitting right here. I'm in. I'm all the way in. I'm paid up for the rest of the year, $180 of wasted money for a service that doesn't give you jack
That's
doodly.
premium.
Which of course is PS Premium, which is far from premium.
Far.
We can give smoke where it's necessary. We give
Facts.
Xbox smoke on a regular basis when they earn it. PlayStation has not done anything for its fans in 18 to 24 months. Concord is a mess. The only best thing that they're going to be able to talk about in 2024 is the fact that Astrobot is releasing, and that game is amazing. It's not a hate fest. Sony puts themselves in the corner, but unfortunately, there are fans, and I'm not saying it's you, but there are fans that make excuses at every turn for them to be the egregious company that they are. They nickel and dime you to death. It's okay. They have no roadmap. Don't worry about it. We'll get Last of Us 3 in 2030. They switch from first party bangers to gas games. Then they have to switch gears because Jim is fired. They don't know what they're doing, and they're in an absolute tailspin. But no, it's okay. They sold consoles. I mean, listen. I mean, I can go into super detail of why they've just a terrible company. They gave up on PlayStation VR to almost immediately. They closed the studios that make VR games, and if you invested nearly $750+ on that headset, it is worthless now. It is a paperweight because you're going to get some games, but you're not going to get anything first party. The portal, the PlayStation Portal, is anybody talking about this? No, not even Sony is talking about this. Listen, you can buck up for Sony all you want. The truth of the matter is that there is a company in a tailspin, and there's a company making billions of dollars and will continue to buy things to make more money. And as Game Pass subscribers, you say peanuts. I'm sorry, at $20 a piece times 35 million subscribers per month, I'm not going to do the math for you. You can do the math. It's redonkulous how much money they're making monthly on Game Pass, and we're getting
the way
everything in our service.
This show is called X Vlogs Live, right? This is the Xbox. This is the Xbox show of the week. Yet you want to come in here and worry about PlayStation fans and what they're thinking. Come on, man. Don't listen. Relax. Okay. We already went ahead and explained the situation. If you feel more, I'm sorry, but PlayStation's doing what they're doing, and you guys are just blind to it. I mean, facts are facts, man.
Yeah,
Where's the first party roadmap for you guys? Where's anything that's exciting coming? They don't care about what you think or feel, yet you somehow waste your energy worrying about what's happening over here.
Yeah.
Why are you worried about here? We got the games coming. The people who are crying, let's be real, man. Like, they're just getting in their feelings for whatever reason. I can't make sense of it. But it's not because there's no games coming. It's not because they ain't got stuff to play. Right? They caught up with different emotions. Has nothing to do with the games. Where are your games, fam?
Well, one last caveat before I continue with the super chats, and then of course we got to get into actually talking about games. And then again, this is one of those shows that we shot from the hip. Hopefully, you're enjoying it enough to hit the like button. Here is the last cherry on top of this sundae for anyone that is a PlayStation fan. Think about this super hard. Like sit back in your chair and just kind of like clench those butt cheeks and really put the brain to it. The biggest announcement of 2024 is that Indiana Jones, a game that is first party Xbox, is coming to your console next year. That is your biggest announcement. Think about that for a second.
Not only the biggest announcement, but hold on. Yes, the 20th, right? When the show took place, they had 2 games that were available to play on PlayStation and PC exclusively. Black Myth Wukong and Concord. Black Myth Wukong did great on PC. but I can tell you right now,
it's not doing good on PlayStation. People,
nobody's
PlayStation
talking
gamers
about
are
on
not buying it. They're
PlayStation.
buying it on PC.
Nobody's talking about on PlayStation. Nobody's talking about Concord. You know what they talked about on the 20th?
Indiana Jones.
2 games they had. How excited they were that they were going to get Indiana Jones, an Xbox game next year. Next year, they're excited about that versus talking about their games that they have now. It's embarrassing, bro. It's imagine we have Indiana Jones drop on our system, and on the same day, instead of playing Indiana Jones, we're excited that we're getting some some random IP that PlayStation has on Xbox. Like who cares? Who cares? We'll be playing our games. We'll be playing our games. Come on, man. We are not the same, bro.
No, it's again, it's no offense. We appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat, but I mean that's just a real bad take in my opinion. Let's see. Jay Slade drops an additional very generous $10 super chat, and he goes on to say, also, it's not talked about much, but PlayStation has lost more exclusives than anybody. We, as Xbox players, now have MLB, Final Fantasy 14, which is true, Genshin Impact, Yakuza, Persona. The list is huge, and the list is going to get bigger. It's going to get even bigger because everybody wants to make money. And I'm sorry to say, the console wars that are being fought on the socials are not being fought in the boardrooms. They're just not. They're just not. Preston V. Wicks drops a very generous $10 super chat, and Preston says, it's funny how ponybots want to make Xbox Game Pass seem stupid when they are stock up on their subscription. I mean, look, they got me. Sony got me this year. They sniped me good, and that's because I was a poor consumer. I didn't realize that I had the automatic renewal on, and they got me. And I was going to go and try and fight it. And I'm like, you know what? They're going to wind up blocking my account. I don't want no problems. I took the $180 lump, and I went in there like a smart consumer. And I'm like, you know what? You're not getting me next year. This service is not worth it. It's just not. It's comparing apples, which are Xbox, to rocks that are PlayStation Plus Premium. That rocks is what you're getting. At least you can eat the apples on Xbox's side. Simon Brandy.
And to be real quick, I do agree, Preston, by the way. That's one of the things I think that gets me the most with these dudes. And that's why, we talk about it so much, because I hate the fact that they come out and they talk all this negative shit, right? That can be something that they're saying. Their actual words are, well, if Xbox does this, people are not going to buy the console. What the do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing when you're out here on a platform coming out here talking reckless shit about Xbox, the very console that you're not going to trade in, you're not going to stop playing, you're not going to cancel your Game Pass? You're going to be there, you're not leaving, but you know what you are doing? You're potentially turning off people from the idea of looking at Xbox because you're out here with this negative bullshit that honestly does not matter. That does not matter. You're perpetuating this negative idea. You're putting this pony-ass narrative out there, this negative narrative against Xbox. Mm-hmm. But these same dudes will tell you how important it is for new people to buy the console. But you out here telling everybody they shouldn't buy the console. So what are you crying about?
Look,
come on, man.
I just bought a $600+ console that I have 2 of them, one here, one in the bedroom. I'm an Xbox guy. I don't want a PC. Give me the money for the PC, and I'll add it to my house fund. The Mrs. Boom and I are saving up for. I don't want a PC. I want to plug and play. I want to pop it on, press my controller, and go. That's it. I don't want driver updates. I don't want to worry about graphics. It is. I do want
Steam on our Xbox though.
What's that? No. Steam is going to be there, and they're now they're going to get me I'm going to become a customer because all the Steam games that I can't play, I can now download and play on the next Xbox. Thank you, Microsoft, digging outside the box. Simon Brandy drops an additional £2 super chat and says, if Halo and Gears go to PlayStation 5, the revolt will be huge, probably. But you know something?
It would be
If it
shocking.
goes, I don't like it, and I'll never bend the knee to it, but it's business. And I'll say this. Here's roles reversed, Simon. When, not if, clip me. I've been clipped multiple times this week. It's crazy how many people stalk me. It's actually quite disturbing, to be honest with you. When Spider-Man 1, 2, and Miles Morales launch on Xbox next year, this is my opinion. I'm not sitting in the room with Hiroki, but if I was, I'd be like, Hiroki, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm an Xbox guy. I have those games. I've platinumed almost 2 of them because I need 2 more trophies in Miles, and I'll finish off Spider-Man eventually. I'll rebuy those games. I'm a customer. Sell them to me on Xbox. You know what Hiroki's gonna say? Well, these games, they're just collecting dust. Look, don't be insulted by what I'm about to say, ladies and gentlemen, but here's the truth. Spider-Man 2018, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 2 are stacks of newspaper that are sitting in the rain. They're not, bought them already. No one is rebuying those games on PlayStation. They've taken those games out of their service when Spider-Man 2 launched to make you buy the games again. No one is buying those games. You know who would buy those games? People on Switch 2, people on Xbox. Those are customers that Sony doesn't have to, they need to find. That is an absolute fact. That is not being insulting. That is not, piling on PlayStation. They need to find new revenue with old games. They need to find new customers selling older games that are no longer moving the needle on their platform. Those are just 3 of them. And Sony is going to follow, just like they've done time and time again, and copy almost verbatim what Xbox is doing. And when that happens, people in this chat that are rah-rah on PlayStation will be like, yeah, PlayStation, you see, we won. And we talked about this, and then and of course, my ideology was poo-pooed and clipped and put out there by the trolls. Look at this jackass Boomstick. He don't know what he's talking about. I never said it, as a matter of fact. It's my personal opinion, but I'm also a businessman, and that makes business sense to me. But
it's funny because you played that clip, right, of Phil when he was at Gamescom, right, in the beginning, and had that interview, right, with Sarah Bond and Charlie. It's funny because everybody wants to take what he says and they want to hyper focus on what they want to hyper focus on. Nobody wants to listen to the head of gaming for Microsoft when he said it's happening to all of us. We are all going to
he said gaming.
He's not talking to you and me, Boom. He's saying all of us, the people who are in gaming. He's talking about Sony. He's talking about everyone is going to have to do this. Maybe not Nintendo, because they're a whole different beast. But he's literally talking about PlayStation having to do it. And you see it already. Stop being blinded. They've already done it. Games day and day on PC, games day and day on Nintendo Switch. It has happened. They've done it. Stop trying to qualify it and say, well, it's not Xbox. Okay, sure. Not right now. Not today. But it's going to happen. The dollars don't make sense, bro. They are nowhere near financially where they could be. And, we talk about Xbox having, no matter what game they do, it'll never make people buy a bunch of consoles. Okay, let me help you guys out. No matter how many consoles PlayStation sells, no matter how good of a game they put out, nothing that they do is going to take them from $100 billion company to $1 trillion company.
Correct.
It's not going to happen.
No.
I'm sorry. If anybody's looking at pennies to pinch and figuring out where they can get their next dollar.
Are you saying robbing Peter Sony to pay Paul? Is that what you're suggesting?
100%. Like 100%. Like, let's be clear. This is the reality of what they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't compare. Microsoft literally spent in cash almost the entire worth of Sony. Almost. between their 2 purchases, they spent almost the entire worth of Sony on 2 publishers for Xbox. We are not the same. They're different leagues. So if anybody is going to be looking to make more money, it's your homies over at PlayStation. Hiroki
They
has
have no
told you,
choice, dude.
Herman Hulst has told you, they all have told you, but you don't want to listen because we only want to pick apart Phil Spencer's words, right? Those motherfuckers try to get, they do like their PhD thesis on the interviews of Phil Spencer. Like no one is more picked apart than the words that Phil says. But when Hiroki says clear as day that the games are going to be everywhere, when the CEO of Sony says it's going to be ubiquitous, wherever there is compute, there will be our games.
He literally said it, but nobody listened. When he said computing, apparently that meant everything in the world except for Xbox. Xbox doesn't compute.
It was only PC they talked about, right? And only mobile or whatever. And then what happened? What happened? Where was Switch? Did he say Switch? I don't remember. Guys, did he say that the Nintendo Switch as well as PlayStation was going to? No, he said everywhere. And it's funny because Switch has now officially become a place where they received a day and date PlayStation game. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, clowns. You can keep crying the way you want to cry and keep mocking the way you want to mock. But this is the thing. Okay. Understand this. Microsoft only acts from a position of power. Only.
Yes.
They are acting from above, making decisions because they see it all. Y'all down there in Sony land, y'all up above looking at Big Papa Phil like, what do we do next?
Actually, what they're doing is they're asking for more games. Xbox.
Well, that's the ponies on their knees. They're ponies on their knees. Every time an Xbox game is shown, they're like, God, please let it come here. God, please, we have nothing. God, please.
I can't.
That's the world they live in, bro. It's sad.
Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite shows of the month. Because we had a set. Again, we're going to get to Indiana Jones before we get out of here. We're going to watch the trailer, and we're going to talk about it because again, it's officially become not only my most anticipated game. I'm saying it now, and I have not played it. I have not played 1 minute of it. I've only seen it. It's probably going to be my game of the year because of my affiliation of where Indiana Jones means for me as a person. Like I talked about it, and I share my pop stories all the time. He took me to City Cinema in the Bronx when I was 11 to watch that film.
Ooh, that's dope.
It's a big deal for me. And again, when I think about Indiana Jones, I think about my pops because there's no better man I've ever met than him. And Indiana Jones, seeing what they've done is just awe-inspiring. I cannot wait to play it. But listen, let me catch up on the last of these super chats. Silver Afro, bro, he's been a channel member for 35 months. He actually didn't say anything. So Silver Afro, thank you so much for the continued support. That is bonkers. Thank you so much. Nightwolf 3186. This is a great one. He drops $5 super chat and says, on a happier topic, finally got my Sky Cipher controller. It's my favorite of them all. Boom. You have too many to have a favorite. I want to say just here. Like if I look at the collection that I have here, that's in my like little cubby. There is 3, 8. I want to say I got about 15 Xbox controllers that are here. I got a ton of stuff in storage. I have the Blue Cipher. I got things over here. I'm a controller freak. I don't care. I only have 2 hands, but I love it. And that Blue Cipher one is dope. I'm using it literally right now.
Lawrence, I've seen your pictures, what you holding. Yes, it looks really nice.
It's nice, dude. You know what I'm hoping really for? Tempted. I'm hoping for a clear green one. Like the OG Xbox one. Dude, that's the color they need to do next. 100%.
I want to buy. I feel like buying the. You know how they came out with the Duke.
Yes,
Hyperkin or whatever.
I have all of them. I have every color.
Yeah, brother. I have every color and shit. It's all here. But also but they just they're just dropping the smaller one. Remember when they did the remodel and it's the smaller
S one?
Like
yes,
I think they're calling it the Duchess. I think I want to get that one.
I just wish they were wireless.
Yeah, that's why I don't use them.
They're in the box for display. Yeah, I just wish they were wireless. Unfortunately, they're not. But if the S does come out, I'm probably one to buying that as well. Lawrence
Thanks.
Davenport becoming a new member. Hey, Lawrence,
Hey, Lawrence, what's
brother,
good, fam?
welcome to the program. Super appreciate that. Will Broke Boy Lewis has donated once again 5 double barrel gaming
That's
memberships.
awesome, bro.
Will, I can't thank you enough for the crazy generosity. Al, and by the way, speaking of Will, everyone, well, because Will's won a couple of the coins. I'm gonna be sent. Go check my socials to see if these coins are done. And Ben Kenobi is gonna be
Nice.
sending me a bunch to give away. They are probably my favorite. They look so freaking good. It's crazy. Um, obey the D2. Ponies, that's a very generous $5 super
Hey,
chat. It
the
says
D.
Ponies bought 73 million games Q1 2024. How many Xbox buy? They don't. They rent, which is why Xbox is going away. Your exclusives. Thank you, Phil. I mean,
Yeah,
brother, thank you.
so just to fact check you so you don't waste time talking nonsense. Um, year over year, PlayStation had decreased, so less of you bought games. So whether it's 73 million or not, it was higher last time and less of you bought. And as far as game sales money, Xbox makes more money on games than PlayStation does. Go check the numbers.
The numbers are there. Yeah. I mean,
So
listen, I
as much as
appreciate the
you
super
thought
chat,
you
but
had some bars, all you did was just waste $5 to look stupid in front of everybody. I'm sorry.
it's
My
fine.
bad. My bad. My
Will
bad.
Broke Boy Lewis drops an additional $5 super chat and says PlayStation is doing the exact same thing Xbox is with their games. They are just doing it at a slower pace. I will on the same page. Perfectly said. THX 1138 drops a very generous $2 super chat and says Indie could launch on Nintendo next gen in spring. I mean, it's
100%
possible.
should.
It
It should.
it absolutely should. If it could
Yeah,
run it,
I'm
it should be a
hell yeah.
launch title for
It's
the Switch because
probably
you know how
gonna
many
look
copies it's
better
going
than
to
the
sell.
PlayStation version.
Yeah. JJ Sane 117 drops a very generous $5 super chat and says, "Hi, Boom. Love the podcast. And brother, thank you so much for that." He goes, "Ignore the trolls." So Xbox, I heard, is Xbox is dead. LOL. I saw a lot of third-party games coming like Genshin and Fatal Fury. Yeah, I guess
Yep.
they have a platform that
Oh,
people
hold
want
on,
to put
but
games
Xbox
on.
is going down,
Going
yet
down. Yes.
the people who PlayStation had as exclusive decided to abandon that idea and also move over to Xbox. But Xbox is going down,
Yes,
right?
they're
But they're
losing.
gaining the exclusives that PlayStation used to have, and the people said, "You know what? No, we do now wanna go to Xbox," right? It's funny, interesting,
You don't leave
It's good
money on the
times.
table, man, especially in this economy.
You
You
don't.
just don't. And by the way, I'm gonna get wrecked here. I came into this canyon, and I just get so wrecked. It's ridiculous. Let's
We gotta get
see.
back to this game, man.
Yeah, it's just so good. Will Broke Boy Lewis, hey brother, he drops an additional very generous $2 super chat and he says, "Boom! I ordered the 2 terabyte special edition as well." I couldn't say no, man. That
Nice.
not only does it look good, but it's 2 terabytes more plus my 2 terabyte card, and I have no problems with memory. Mind you, still have the Starfield 5 terabyte HDD drive for all my older stuff, which that one
Yep,
is dope. You see it in all my pictures. It's always light. It's always lit up red, blue, red, and yellow because that's the
that's
Starfield
dope.
color. That thing is very hard to find. Let's see,
That's dope.
JFX 88 drops a very generous $5 super chat and says Avowed versus Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Oh,
So
that's
here's
rough
the
'cause I
thing. I'm going with
love
Avowed
Kingdom Come
because I
Deliverance
didn't
too.
play Kingdom Come Deliverance because it's not my type of game. But I know a lot of people are super stoked for it.
I
I
love
know
it.
King David and the Iron Lords absolutely love. They actually had the developer on several times. So that's a big announcement for Kingdom Come
Yeah.
2
Well, Avowed, I
Deliverance.
think is gonna Avowed, I think will I will probably end up enjoying playing Avowed
More. Yeah,
more.
yeah. It's because
I think
it's
it's gonna
Obsidian.
be more yeah, it's a city enjoying the story's gonna be crazy. I do love Kingdom Come Deliverance Part 1. I have high hopes for Part 2.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Um, but I think Avowed will probably if I had to choose one, I would wanna make sure I have Avowed, so
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Let's see. We have here Flip Wild. Flip, welcome to the program. He drops a very generous $5 super chat and says Xbox Hellblade, PlayStation Helldivers 2, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Stellar Blade, Rise of the Ronin, Black Myth Wukong, Astrobot, Xbox Watch Profits, Ponies Get Games. So
Mhm.
Here's the thing, Flip. Every one of the games that you mentioned were supported more on PC where they're available. Um, Stellar Blade sold 1 million copies to 61 million consoles. Helldivers 2 sold a ridiculous amount on PC. Not so much. I bought it. I bought it on my PS5. Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Remember, it's also not, it doesn't chart on PlayStation at all.
No, it doesn't.
Nobody's playing that game on PlayStation. So
It's
as much
but
as you talk about ponies, it charts regularly on
right.
Steam,
I mean,
never on PlayStation.
Final Fantasy Rebirth. Didn't you guys and gals hear that Square Enix said that it didn't meet expectations? That means that you folks, because it's not available on an Xbox or PC or Nintendo, it's only available on PS5, and you
So
didn't
you
buy
are the
it.
disappointment. They get so confused. They get so confused because they say
No,
we have
it's
these games that
they
they don't
want to
want it.
run narrative lists,
Yeah,
and they run
they
the
don't want it.
narrative lists, and they don't buy the games. Look, Rise of the Ronin. Rise of the Ronin was a freaking buggy mess and did not sell. You know who told us that? The developer themselves said it did not meet expectations. It sold more than older games, yes, but what is that number? We don't know because they didn't tell us. So it sold more than older PlayStation exclusives. That's great, but it didn't break records because they would have told us, hey, it sold 10 million copies. It just didn't.
Plus, money had in
Afterbot,
games
I'm
don't
buying
mean
it.
anything.
Yeah.
Like these are games that you money had. These were third parties. These are not first party titles. They're eventually going to come to Xbox, like we've seen time and time again. We just
Yep.
got Bridge of Spirits, right? It'll come. None of these games were that good. Nobody cares enough when it shows up 2-3 years from now or next year, whenever it is. Nobody cares. It'll be good or not. Whatever is no big deal. If you want to talk about third party, then they conveniently, right, want to ignore the fact that on Game Pass every single month we get day and date third party games every single month free of charge in our subscription. All
Yeah.
right, so when that game comes out and you have to pay and I just get to play, uh that to me is a worthwhile conversation to have. And if we want to list what Xbox has provided to Game Pass, I mean, I don't think you have enough characters on your $5 super chat. You might have to up it a bit to be able to list the games that we got in our subscription, homie. So I'm sorry, but
Listen, it's fine.
it is
PlayStation
what it
gamers
is.
are welcome here. Have your opinion. Put your super chats in. We'll read it. We'll respond to it.
Definitely with the super chats. For
So
sure.
Roberto Z drops a very generous $5 super chat and says, I think both Xbox and Sony use your old catalog, send it over to mid-generation to fund dev on the new game and keep it until the next mid-generation cycle. I mean, it's a they're doing it. They're doing it right now. We have Big Mad Mo, who's been a channel member for
Homie.
28 months. Mo, what's up, brother? Thank you so much for the generosity and the support. He says, shout out to the panel. Hashtag boot on next season in full effect and in all caps. If you build it, they will come. Game Pass, you pay, I play. Indeed, absolutely,
Oh yeah.
1000%. THX 1138 drops an additional, very generous $2 super chat, and this is a great point. He says Sony's being reactive while Microsoft is being proactive, and that is a
Position of
perfect.
power, position of weakness. It's 100% what it is.
Yeah. Will Broke Boy Lewis drops an additional, very generous $2 super chat and says, I bought that Starfield 5 terabyte as well at Best Buy for $110. Yeah, that's where I actually got it. I actually ordered it online. You can't find that anywhere. That's super, super rare. And it's dope. It's really nice. Brett Bingham. Hey, Brett, welcome back to the program, brother. He drops a very generous $2 super chat and says, someone made a Warthog mod. Oh, did they already? Someone made a Warthog mod from Halo for the Rev 8 already. Dude, that is dope. Oh, real quick, because look, this has been a great show. We're going to get to Indiana Jones. What we're not going to get to is Avowed, and of course the Rev 8 buggy conversation. I'm going to take those two topics because they're beefy, and I'm going to move them to tomorrow's um, uh, Breakfast with Boom at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a full panel. We're going to get to those to open up the show. This was one of those shows that it just kind of it was a lot to get into, and I think that honestly, it's probably one of my favorite shows because so much truth was revealed not only by myself, but also by C Money. I mean, we gave you facts and people are trying to push back against those facts with opinions. It's hard to do that. Opinions are fine and we accept them and you can have yours, but the evidence-based conversation that I like to have has actual numbers and facts that you cannot argue against. Have your opinion, sure, but we see both companies going in opposite directions. Sony can sell all the consoles they want, but they're not making bank. The one that continues to make bank, just look at the chart that came out from Ecstasies. Who had the most revenue? If you folks want to go with revenue versus consoles, Sony was second. The market leader in money is Xbox. How do we argue that? I don't give a shit about their money. I care about the service that they continue to provide and put games in. And every time I turn on
net
Xbox,
is all that matters.
It's the net. It is. And you're a businessman, you would know more than most.
Matters, my friend. I don't care how much you gross.
Yeah.
I don't care how much you gross. Nobody cares how much you gross. All that matters is what you keep at the end of the day. And unfortunately, for the ponies, they're not keeping. They're not keeping a lot.
Trust me. There's a company counting pennies, and there's a company counting dollars, and I don't need to tell you which ones they are. Will Broke Boy Lewis drops an additional $5.
Hold on, with half the install base, just to be clear.
Yes,
right. Half the console install base.
Yeah,
just because they want to talk consoles, right? Because that's all that matters, right? So
it's a narrative that changes. First, it's MAUs, then it's money, then it's consoles, then it's games, and you're second place in monies. I don't get it. I hear you, but you're second place in monies. Facts. That's a fact. That is not even a suggestion. Will drops another $5 super chat and says it's so nice of Flip Wild to pay to make his dumbass takes. I mean, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. If you want to drop a super chat, you know what we do with the little super chats. If you're new to the channel, Mrs. Boom and I have ridiculous giveaways. And this Christmas is going to be no less. It's the biggest console. I mean, it's the biggest giveaway we've ever had on the channel. Again, welcome to being there. You have a shot at winning. We're giving away $2,000 in 2 hours. Yes, that's right. That's not a fake. We've done it. We did 1,500 last year, 1,000 the year before. And when we first started this, we're a small channel. It was 500 and 250. And now we've upped the ante. Thanks to Mrs. Boom, who is the showrunner when it comes to the funds. We're doing $2,000. You tell me, fine folks, who else is doing that? Because we feel an obligation to you because of the generosity, and we will continue to give back. So when people who want to be insulting give us super chats, don't worry about it. Let them insult me. It's fine. I have thick skin. Remember, I was a cop for 21 years. I got called all kinds of things. And you know what? I'm still here to talk about it. And I was still officer friendly. We're going to take these super chats from these negative folks, and we're going to put it into the ante. And then at the end of the year, we're going to give it back. So thank you. It's the same way when you a PlayStation player buys an Xbox game. Thank you. You've just added more money to Game Pass for games to be in my service. Yes, it's a win for me,
Thanks.
win for you. No one loses here. And lastly, Raiden Blade has been a channel member for, my God, 39 months. Raiden, thank you so much for that, brother. He says, day and date in Game Pass. 1 year later on competitive platform is cool. Sloppy second. What's the problem? We eating great on Game Pass, PS Now or PS Plus, not so much. And that's facts. But let me play the trailer because I want to talk about Indiana Jones, and we're gonna be a little bit longer than normal. But here is the 2 minutes and 29-second trailer for Indiana Jones.
What if I told you there was a connection between ancient cultures around the world? A great circle. Does it exist? Is it the key to some lost power? That's up to you to uncover. I'm Troy Baker, and I play Indy. It's humbling playing a character that so many people, myself included, look up to. As a kid, seeing Indiana Jones in the theater for the first time was a defining moment for me. And I never would have guessed that all these years later, I would be the one wearing the hat. But here I am. It's been a dream come true. A dream that I cannot wait for you to live for yourselves. The beauty of a first-person game like this is that We all get to feel what it's like to become indie. You are the one who cracks the whip, who feels the weight of every punch and the thrill of finding every clue. Indy is such a unique character. A professor, an archaeologist, a brawler, an explorer, the quintessential all-around adventurer. And this game has everything you'd expect from an Indiana Jones adventure. Mysterious artifacts, cunning villains, ancient discoveries, hard-hitting action. It's a world of constant danger where you've got to think on your feet to stay alive. The Great Circle spans the entire globe, from snake-filled jungle temples to scorpion-riddled desert tombs. Stunning open areas to explore freely, full of secrets for you to discover. And you'll get more than just the classic whip and revolver. Indy's journal and his camera will immerse you in the mystery, providing extra info on all of your finds so you can appreciate all of the little historical details he obsesses over. And those details are your key to solving the ancient puzzles that hold the secrets you're after. But ancient secrets don't come easy. It's best to have an exit strategy. This is an incredible new way to experience Indiana Jones, and I can't wait for you to play it. Hold on to your hat.
Matrimony, that was almost a disaster. That would have cost me money. Listen, let's talk about it, because obviously Indiana Jones is one of the biggest games releasing on Xbox in 2024. And again, this is no shade or takes nothing away from how amazing Hellblade 2 is. It's a profitable game that's been confirmed by Ninja Theory. Think about that for a second. Everything we've gotten in Xbox Game Pass this year, and the bookend the year, you're going to have Hellblade up front, and closing it out is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This is a big deal. That trailer, mind you, now again, I'm privy to some more footage behind it, and it's an RPG. It is a movie narrative that you're playing. Those graphics, you got to admit, probably as good as Hellblade, maybe as equal to Hellblade. They look phenomenal. You're going to be able to it's not going to be just point and click, go here, and that's all you're going. The world is going to be open. You're going to be able to traverse different things. You're going to have side missions. There is so much to get excited about for this game. Machine Games have absolutely knocked it out of the park. Like I said, that is now, C-Money, the 7th time I've watched the trailer, and every time I watch it, I see something different, and I cannot wait for that game again. Hopefully, I get a chance to review it. We'll see. Nothing is guaranteed with the channel. The collector's edition, that's my only complaint, because this was an opportunity to the world globe. It's meaningful if you're a fan, but it's not the greatest. Usually Bethesda does great. I mean, like really, really good collector's edition. That's just not one of them. That's my only gripe. It should have come
I don't see
with
a globe being.
Yeah, there are two
get.
things. Again, you could have made this a $300 collector's edition, and I would have bought it. What should have been what they should have included, and I don't know if there was a conversation, should have been the fedora, should have been the whip, or his satchel, right? Like a usable, it doesn't have to be, it's not gonna be real leather, but it could be the replica satchel that he uses with that book from the game that you can put in the satchel and run around your house in your underwear. Fine, if that's what you're gonna do. Whatever.
Or even give us a statue of him. You know what I'm saying? Like him holding the,
I would have taken the fedora and the whip.
Something.
Personally, I think it's a missed opportunity considering.
Well, that's because you were going to rock around with the fedora.
I would have run around in my underoos, brother, and none of that about it. And only old pricks
Mrs.
like
Boom was going to get a whole different experience with the collector's edition.
Listen, let's get into the trailer. What are your thoughts, man? Should Xbox players be excited?
It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning, and you should absolutely be excited. It's going to be a phenomenal game. I'm very, very excited for this It's coming day one in the Game Pass, and it's a beautiful thing, man. I feel like I remember when it was first, like before we saw the first trailer, there was a lot of discussion of whether it was going to be third person or first person, and I was in the camp that it needed to be third person. Like I was almost aggressively in that camp. I was like, no, it has to be. It doesn't make any sense. It's Indiana Jones. You got to see him. Blah 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 blah. But then I saw the first trailer that they showed. I was like, "Oh my god, okay, well, no, it should be first person." like, but that is the difference, right? That's what good game developers do, right? They don't sit there and follow what people think they should be doing. They sit down and they decide what they want to do, what makes sense for them, for their game. And I could tell you, the more I see it, it just makes more and more sense. You get to be indie. You get to experience it the way he does. And it looks phenomenal. I love it. The story, the way that they handle it, looks good. It feels like it's another, like, literally, if you watch the movies, it feels like an extension of the movies. Like it's just another Indiana Jones story. You know what I'm saying? Like it just works. And honestly, Troy Baker, gotta give props where props due, man.
He
When I first saw
sounds like Indiana Jones, bro.
I thought it was Indiana Jones the first time. I did not know
Yeah.
it was Troy Baker. He nailed it. So good on him for doing that. And I love the fact that they went ahead and got the likeness from Harrison Ford, right? So they have him not 4,000 years old, but they went back and de-aged him and gave us a proper indie story. It's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be great. This is what I was saying. So this is like a trailer that they put together after the fact, and you see how the PlayStation is a part of it on the bottom. So they obviously have it there. But then, this is what I was when after the show, Hargeet was on and we were talking, and this is where I kind of challenged the idea. Like, right now they're showing this, and it just kind of came out, so they're letting everybody know who the hardcore people, that this is what's happening. But if you look, like, PlayStation, unless I missed it somehow, did not post this trailer. They did
I
not
didn't see it.
the Indiana Jones trailer, right? So
Bethesda posted it, and so did Xbox. Yeah.
yeah, so get out of the hardcore bubble, right? Because I know we always think we're the most important people in the world, right? But frankly, we're the least important people to these
We're about 10%.
console
On a good day,
makers. Yeah,
15. And that's the most you're gonna get. Yeah.
yeah, very, very little, very little. So take yourself out the bubble. Understand that for all intents and purposes, anybody who is going to be interested in Indiana Jones, who is a casual, who's not out here reading IGN, or well, I mean, maybe they do, but again, like the casual people are going to just see trailers that say Xbox at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like even this one you saw here, right? It mentioned it at the bottom, and then it ends with the Xbox logo. It ends with all that stuff. It's just what's going to be for now until the game starts ramping up on the other side. Then you'll start seeing those trailers. But I don't think there needs to be any crying over this. The game looks phenomenal. Again, I honestly think this might be a game that the ponies actually show up for and might actually spend some money on, because it does look that damn good.
It
It's
does.
really a phenomenal looking game.
I saw a lot
So
of chatter. Even some of the most stout Xbox haters were like, "Yeah, this game looks good." Even before this, like
yeah, I
even
mean, they're
before
pumped,
it.
dude. They're
Yeah.
pumped. They're so
Hmm.
happy. Like
And
Porter
they
Rock
should
put a
be.
picture of himself on Indiana Jones for his thumbnails. He's so excited. This is just what it is, man. This is a big game, and I
It
think
is.
it's gonna look fantastic, man. It's gonna look
Yeah,
fantastic.
I
It's good
listen
stuff.
again. I am so there. I hope that they look like I don't ever shy away from being like a nerd. I that's who I am. It's fine. I hope that they have a smart wrap for it. I hope they have a controller for it. Whatever they have, I'm buying. I'm sorry, and again, it would be a bit disastrous if they released a console, because that means I would have to get it as well. But I hopefully they're just a smart wrap is all they need to do.
Smart rap is
anything
the way, man.
yeah, smart rap is the way, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here today on X Vlog Live. I hope that you enjoyed the conversation. I know that it was originally sold to talk about just gaming, but the conversations that we were having with the chat, the conversations that I was having with C Money, I thought were incredible. Like really fun, detailed, and you know something? I don't mind pushing back against the critics. And I think sometimes you actually have to do that. And I think we did that well. We didn't do it in a way that was attacking. If you're a PlayStation gamer, you are welcome here. You can drop a super chat. Rest assured, my wife and I are going to put it back into the channel and give it back to the peoples, which is what we do. And again, if you have opinion that differs from mine, that is perfectly fine. But I really got to say that this today's show was one of my favorites. And I hope it was yours as well, because like the first hour was doing what you're supposed to do when people challenge. You don't back yourself into a corner and you whip out the claws. You talk about it and you give facts and you give other opinions that are objective. And I think we did that. So, C Money, thank you so much for being a part of it. Obviously, FYI, put the kids to bed because tonight's show is going to be a little bit wild with him, the missus, and Hargeet. Look, it's their shtick, so to speak. It's their brand, and of course, we try to do PG. I don't shy away from it. I've been on this show many times. I will be back again. And you know what? Maybe you'll see an F dropping boom that you haven't seen in a while because sometimes I need to kind of shake it off and kind of let it out. You know what I'm saying? I keep it tucked in. Hold on a sec. Pause.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa! Where did this go? Oh my goodness. Listen, sell the brand.
Sounding more and more like our show.
That was just a preview of my next entrance into Doodle and C Money show. There you go. But listen, brother, sell the brand. Tell everyone where they can check out On Point for Gamers. You have an amazing YouTube channel. You did some amazing gains in 2024 that you should be super proud of. The work that you consistently give back. You're out here. You're talking to devs. You involve the community in a big way. You involve the content creation community on your big block parties. Where can people check it out? Subscribe to your YouTube channel, and more importantly, follow you and the missus, by the way, on social media.
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, thank you, brother, for having me, man. Appreciate you. Sorry we kind of hijacked the idea of the show.
No, it's fine. This is a great show. I'm going to change the title and change the thumbnail. Don't worry, folks. This was phenomenal. It was a great show.
Yeah, man. But I love being on the show, so appreciate you, brother. Obviously, C Money forever right here. I did go out and ask of the ponies to show me the brag receipts from the developers that made third-party exclusives for PlayStation. I'll be waiting for them in my DMs.
You're not going to get them, by the way.
Yeah, I can't wait because I'm very excited to see. But yeah, follow me there. Of course, you can find us here on Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern time on XVlog Live. And then we have our channel. It's On Point for Gamers. It's me, my wife, and then our son hops on, my boy Madman, who, by the way, you know how stupid these ponies are? So they clipped us, right, during the reaction. And my son, he's 17. He don't give a shit, right? He's out here. He starts making fun of the ponies when he sees the Xbox logo. He doesn't see PlayStation, right? And then the PlayStation logo pops up. And they thought that was me because they thought it was just me and my wife, and they didn't see the third person in the other corner, which is my son. They're like, "Oh, look at him. He said that, and look what happened." Actually, I did it, fam. And my son don't give a shit about what you guys feel. So at the end of the day, it's just all fun on our end. But yes, come check us out On Point for Gamers. I did drop the link in the chat. Come check us out. We do 4 shows a week. Tonight is the On Point Gaming podcast. Myself and Doodle we've been pent up like you just saw me now. Like Doodle's the same way. We have shit to be talking about, so we're gonna be going in. It's gonna be a wild show tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Definitely come. Check that out. We'll be back tomorrow night with the night shift Let's Talk Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's with us. And then, of course, our homie Hargeet Shani and our boy Demo Flow Gaming. He'll be stopping by. And then on Sundays, we do our morning quest, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Doodle myself, super like chat focused show. Like we just really rock out with the chat and just kind of go in and make fun of all these stupid ass ideas or talk about whatever is going on, right? But we just do it with the community. And then on Tuesday nights we have Night Quest, so it's like the reciprocal of Morning Quest, right? Night Quest, and that's at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. And it's our show where we typically will have a guest come in and rock with us and just kind of go in and have some fun, man. That's what it is, man. We have a lot of fun. Like that's at the end of the day, we're in there to have fun, make fun of shit, joke, gets a little raunchy sometimes, get a little definitely a lot of R-rated, sometimes X, who knows, stuff gets wild. But we have a good time, man. Come check us out tonight for sure. We got a lot of pent up stuff that we're going to be releasing. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be in the chat as I always do. What I like to do is when I'm watching the Korean dramas, which is me and Mrs. Boom, just crazy ridiculous. Like we love them so much. There is again, if you're like me and you like them, well, really Mrs. Boom, she got me into them. There is a app you can get. It's called Viki, Vikki, and it is all Asian dramas. And I mean from Japan, from China, from Korea. Amazing. It's $10 a month. We have been abusing it. Like when I'm doing the shows at night, Mrs. Boom is chilling in the room watching it. And she's like, yeah, take all the time you want. 3-hour show, it's fine. I'm watching my show. It's okay. And, obviously she's Hispanic. So, of course, those are the soaps, right? So, but listen, again, yeah, I grew up with my grandmother would watch the dramas as well. So, again, it's a cultural thing. Yeah, there it is. Hey, look, again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. An hour and 32 minutes. One of my favorite shows, certainly of the month for sure, because we got a lot of stuff out there, and again, we love the chat. You have an opinion that's against ours. You don't have to drop a super chat. I read the chat. I just we're limited for time, and if it's a legitimate question, we'll talk about it. But if you drop a super chat, and we appreciate it, we really do, because again, we just put it back into the channel by doing the big giveaways. We'll answer it, and we're going to come at you because again, I get the emotions of what's going on, but the emotions don't make money. Facts make money. Big moves make money, and that's what Microsoft is doing. Again, I don't like it, and I said it yesterday last night. And I'll say it again before we get out of here. Remember Macho Man Randy Savage? I mean, what we used to say, they may not like it, but they're going to have to accept it, right? That's the reality. I don't like it, but I have to accept it. But am I hurt? Am I losing that Indiana Jones is going over? I'm not. I'm playing it first. Hopefully, Bethesda will let me review it, which would be dope. They let me review Starfield, so I would imagine that I will be able to review this as well. We'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Boss Mod Lethal Papa, keeping these streets safe from the knuckleheads. And again, you can be a PlayStation player and just be a gamer, but it's the trolls that are kept away by the giant fly swatter that he has. And of course, thank you, Boss Mod Lethal Papa, the best in the business for sure. Of course, a big thank you to all of the generous super chats and the channel memberships and the new channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And it wouldn't be a show closing without saying this. I'm going to close out the show with something that's incredibly important to me. Hopefully one day it'll be important to you. And that's something that my dad taught us when we were kids. And he would say, Craig, treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, son. I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. We'll see you next week on the newest episode of X Vlog Live.